Oh, this is gonna be depressing. I'm actually not looking forward to this live stream on so many levels. What to start with? Shit. All right. I guess we'll start with the shooting, unfortunately. I need water. Let me get two things. I need something to drink. All right. To be honest, I'm starting with a beer. A Modelo, nonetheless. Oh, come here, you tasty chelada, before we get into this. I also made chicken noodle soup. Well, so in the news, I'm sure everyone's heard. There was another shooting, this time of a gentleman named Alex Pretti. I think that's how you say it. A nurse from what I understand, he was a VA nurse. We're going to try to watch some of the footage in the most respectable manner possible without breaking YouTube's TOS policies. Now, I want to say I already downloaded a video. We'll watch this first. We'll watch something good first. Lieutenant Colonel, that's what this rank means. Nice. Nice, Lieutenant Colonel. Out of just curiosity, what does r/Army think of all this? Damn, this is still up there. After the last couple of weeks of watching leaders in the army step on their dicks when speaking, it's nice to see a lieutenant colonel who got the fucking memo of how to speak in front of camera. Yeah, true. I saw the rank and was ready for so much cringe. Me as well. Ooh. Ooh. National Guard, you nasty girls. I don't know why my Explorer. I do kind of want to just break this down. I wonder. Well, shit. You're not going to be able to hear this. I'm going to have to change my audio settings. It won't take long. All right. Yeah, you guys want this one.
And you're with the Minnesota National Guard?
Yeah, we are. Yes, we are. Bro, what kind of jacket is that? Dude, he's wearing the standard issue gloves. His hands have to be cold. And either this dude's got big lats or he's got a lot of layers on. I'm guessing a lot of layers, which is it's Minnesota, or Minneapolis, Minnesota. I just need to close this. I had a Windry. Blah blah blah. Sorry. Bro, it's cold as fuck up there. Four degrees in the capital, 16 degrees in Motown. Wisconsin. This is Minnesota. -1. What's it gonna be? 1 a.m. Just out of curiosity. Ugh. Negative. Dude, today's already Sunday. Dude, my entire Saturday got fucked in the butt. -20. So tonight, it's gonna be cold. I know it's cold in Russia. It's normally like this. This is all Arctic up here. Bro, it's like, where's it all coming from? It's coming from you guys. You guys are sending it across the oceans. Well, maybe not. Looks like this is pushing back. It's definitely coming up here, though. Golly. This vortex of suck ass. All right, let's see if we can find a. Where is this? What is this? Dude, I don't have Premiere up. Maybe I need to do one of these. Japan. Yeah, it's 80, 64 up there. 84. There's an island out here. I'm looking for. This little speck. What do they say in the temperature out this general area is 81 degrees right now. Golly. All right. So a VA nurse, for those who don't know, it's like for the veterans, the VA, veteran assistant, or veteran affairs, I'm sorry. Assistant. I'm an idiot. I mean, I guess Explorer's just never going to load what I wanted to load. Whatever. I'll open Premiere. That's fine. So we're going to review these footages. I can review it through actual software. As I eat my chicken noodle soup that I put an entire chicken breast into. It's pretty much chicken meat soup. Holy what the fuck, Batman? We're gonna not pay attention to this. This is all something from something else. All right. Oh, actually, what we can do, just give me a second. Duplicate, just spearhead, toxic child. And we could just take all of this, delete it. Now we just have to find that video. I downloaded it using a Reddit downloader. It should be with all the other rapid saves. Let's do 2026. Is this it? Nope. Nope. Dude, where did I save this? There was a slowed down footage. I downloaded it. I just don't know where I saved it. No, let's just say, let's pretend like we're gonna do one real quick. So we'll go to Reddit video download. Pretend like we're gonna save this. Oh, I just did it. Where have you downloaded? Shit. The other rapid save show in folder. It's just in downloads? Is that really it? Dude, Explorer is dying. My Windows Explorer is dying. Users, public, downloads. Yeah, Windows Explorer has died. All right, I think this is the video. It is. We're gonna try, like I said, real hard to not break TOS here. This is gonna be a bit of a minefield here. Blow this up. So the guy's already on the ground. So you can see his hands on the pistol. Is this like slow motion? Yeah, so they already put this in slow-mo. So if you don't know, this guy is a protester. Let's try to do this in order. Let's see if we can.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chalkies. I mean, there's just so much footage, you don't have to go far. Mayor of New York spotted help patrol car. I want the leading up. Unfortunately. We're gonna have to dive a little into this. All right, let's find the whole idea. I mean, okay. So here's how I look at things. Protesting is legal, carrying a gun is legal. Consistency is important. So if you're like, hey, the people that were there for the January 6th riots or protests, the ones that didn't go in the Capitol, let's say there was a lot of armed protests out there, you know, that's allowed. Even if you don't agree with why they're there or maybe even what happened at the Capitol, as long as, you know, people weren't using their firearms in an illegal manner, you can't really bitch about the legality of it. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? What kind of sorting algorithm is this? So, I mean, you can be like, I don't agree with your protest. But again, there's a pretty fine line between using your gun in an illegal manner and not. Kyle Rittenhouse was, you know, I was pro Kyle Rittenhouse in the sense of I saw what happened. And I was like, I mean, if you're attacking a dude with an M4 in his hands, the level of escalation is already at the top. Like, you're already, just by holding a gun in the open like that, like Kyle Rittenhouse was, it was pretty much like, again, it's just the fuck around and find out, where it's like, I'm not hurting you, you're not hurting me. Look at this big ass gun I got in my hands. If you start to do some things, I might start to do some things. I already have a gun in my hands, so you can assume what I'm going to do next, you know? What is this? Who is posting this bullshit? Bro, this reminds me of, like, these types of posts remind me of like 30 ghost gun 30 cal bullets shooting like 1100 rounds per minute or whatever the fuck this person says. Quote. Are you fucking kidding me? We're just not gonna get. Like, it's the same. It's just this. Wait. Oh yeah, I mean, this is it. It's all heavily edited, but like this type of propaganda, like, oh my god, Iceberg today has a domestic evidence shows he brought. Like, if the evidence is that he has a sig, that's, which I would say that's not evidence. It's like, okay, you might as well be doing this.
And you can create this illegal weapon. This is a ghost gun. This right here has ability with a 30 caliber clip.
This guy, you could just tell. Like, as soon as he said clip, he was like, sir. Just, again, like, non-gun people talking or bitching and complaining about guns is, like, I'm trying to, like, think of an equal, I mean, you could say it's like climate change people that aren't scientists complaining about climate change. It's a little too divisive. I mean, you could, trying to think of something that, like, it's like you obviously have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You haven't educated yourself on it, so then you probably don't care. This is theater.
Caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second. 30 magazine clip in half a second.
Might be one of the dumbest quotes a politician has said in a long time. But I would say it's like as dumb as this, and this a military style armed domestic like, again, it's just like the other guy, 30 round clip. Like, he's just saying words that he thinks are associated with guns. Now we're just saying things we think are associated with bad guys. It's the same thing. It's just, we're just gonna say words. He brought a 6 Sauer P320 series 9mm handgun with an optic. Again, like, does an optic make him a terrorist? If it didn't have an optic, would he be less? You know, like, what is all this information? None of this information is actually regarding if someone is or is not a terrorist. It's just chilling. It's just, again, like, if you have evidence or if you want to, like, make a case for something, I'm all for it. Make a case for anything. You want to say the moon's made of cheese? I don't give a fuck. Like, give me some research. Give me some data. Like, you have to substantiate what you're saying. You can't just throw a whole bunch of bullshit at the wall. This is one thing I hated about arguing with my friends growing up, because they were like that. I could say something that could be right or wrong. It could be factually right or wrong. You know, I was young, growing up, like everyone else is when they're growing up. My friends would be like, they would say something along the lines like, well, bananas are fruit, therefore you're wrong. I'm like, dude, you're just saying words that aren't related to the topic. Yeah, the words that you're saying are true statements. Bananas are fruits. But how the fuck does that disprove anything I'm saying? Just because you say something that is true doesn't mean it supports your ideals. I'm looking for the lead up. I'm not just browsing this subreddit to jerk their dicks. I'm looking for... This is stabilized. This is rough. Like, okay, what about this?
So much, man, and they keep pushing people, you know.
That's part of the lead up. Not quite the lead up. Like, I saw footage. Maybe it's this one. All right. So if you're wondering what the whistles are, they're pretty much trying to annoy the cops to death, which isn't illegal. All right, being annoying. Unfortunately, no, it's not unfortunately. I'm memeing. People have rights. But being annoying isn't like, oh my God, you need to go to jail. Like, blowing a whistle. Now, people in the area do call their cops, call the cops, you're being so disruptive, you're disrupting people within their own property. Like, I see there can be some gray area in here, but I'm pretty sure everyone in this community in particular has no problem with people blowing whistles. It's just a tactic to annoy these people and get them out. So he steps out on the road. He sees this car coming. Okay, so we see this car coming. Dude, I don't know why Reddit just has the worst. I don't know why people upload to Reddit. Just upload to YouTube at 2K or 4K. And then post the link in Reddit. I don't know if this is an ICE agent vehicle or not. This is ICE agents. They're in the road. So these people are kind of, you could say, are these people in the wrong or whatever? Like, you're not blocking the road. There's enough room for the traffic to get through. Could you say on some weird misdemeanor charge, someone's breaking the law here? Sure. Jaywalking or some bullshit. Not what I'm interested. Car stops. He was waving them. Car's like, okay, I'm going to try to creep through. He's like, yeah, you can come through. All right. I have no idea if these are ICE agents. So what happened to these ladies? Unfortunately, this person pans away because they were just here next to the car. I think there's another angle where he kind of just shoves her, like, right there. He shoves her. He definitely shoves her. He's, like, his hands are in the, like, again, you're just I'm not gonna, again, there's, like, I don't know how to explain this, dude. These people are not your enemy in the sense of when you're policing your own citizens or your own community or whatever the case may be, you do treat them with kid gloves. Like, in a combat zone, sure, you might be like, hey, dude, like, you're making it more difficult to take you as a POW or whatever the case may be. There's bombs dropping around me. People are trying to kill me actively. Like, I need you to comply immediately or we're going to escalate to the extreme. This is not that environment in the sense of you can just be like, hey, get the fuck away. Like, yeah, they're being annoying. Yes, they're agitating you. That's the whole point. But they win the agitation battle when you let the agitation take away your discipline. That's the problem. So now he's getting pepper sprayed. Unfortunately, I don't think he could see. He's tripping over her, which sucks. I don't know why he grabs her in the sense... Like, this is the only part that, like, again, this has nothing to do with the actual, like, legality of the shooting. I just think he's just so disorientated through the pepper spray. I don't know why he's on her. Like, he was grabbing her or whatever. So they're now on him. You can see the way his feet are pointed. I mean, he's facing the ground. This video quality is absolute garbage. And then we have the first shot. There is another video of, like, his hands are on the ground. I mean, I don't know if you can see it. God damn it. So many windows. We're looking up over here now. I mean, in this, I mean, it looks like he's on his knees. I don't see any gun, like, not gun. This guy in the gray jacket is grabbing for his gun. I mean, I don't see this dude's hands. The guy that's on all fours, or, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. I need to learn this dude's name out of respect. I want to use his name. I don't want to just say this guy. It's rude. And in this scenario, we're going to try to be Alex. So this is Alex Pretti. All right. So Alex is on all fours. His feet look together. He's pretty much just turtle shelled. You can see, like, you can actually see his waistband lift. So whatever holster he has is got some retention on the firearm. So, like, there's different types of holsters. There's like a Serpa holster. I'm not gonna whip out my camera to whip out my shit. So, like, I have one of these too. So, like, this locks. Like, if you don't push this button and you just grab this handle and you yank, the gun's not going anywhere. Like, your belt loop goes through this big, or this goes just no belt loop. This goes like in your pants. Like it's hard to explain how. But this one, you can see these like cutouts. Your belt goes through these cutouts, so it's attached to your leather belt or a synthetic belt. And I don't know if you know much about belts, but you don't just rip belts in half. It's just not how they work. If you're running one of these holsters, like you tug on that gun all you want, it's not coming out. You need to engage the button. I have this Safari holsters. There's also other holsters. Now this is a much different scenario. This is more for battle belts. Get out of my face. So like you have concealed carries, IWBs, and then different retentions. So your concealed carries usually don't have buttons. Like this is probably just straight retention, if I had to guess. I don't know what holster he had, but whatever it is, you can see from the video. I mean, you can see his pant line getting tugged. Like right there. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's trying to get it out. Right there, you can see it come out. Right there, you can see. It's pretty pixelated, but you can see this is probably the front of the gun coming out of the holster. Like as he's tugging on this holster. Tug. He gives it another tug, and the gun comes out. Tug, gun comes out. You might even be able to see right there, this white part is probably the trigger well for the gun. So like on a pistol, he was using a SIG 230, right? I don't want to do gun broker. He didn't have a SIG. Oh, I mean, it was a SIG. It was. The Google AI absolutely fucking blows. Oh, blah, 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 blah. It was a SIG. 6RP320. All right. We're just not. I feel like my computer today is just not. I think I've shot one of these. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't shot a bazillion guns in my life. Just because I'm prior military doesn't mean I put my hands on every gun. I want to say he had, I mean, something probably, it probably wasn't a full size. It was probably a, thank you. Do they have like one of those 360 things where you can look at it? So, I mean, that's a pretty big trigger well. You want, kind of like, tactically speaking, big trigger wells are nice because if you're wearing gloves or you have things on your hands, you can still get your finger in here. There's plenty of room. You don't want it to be super tight. You can run into problems trying to get your finger in the trigger well and slow you down. So I'm guessing we're going to see it one more time. He's going to give it a... So, I mean, one yank, two yanks, it comes out. There might have been a third before this. That's all the video I have. Yank, yank, and it comes out. Boom. Yeah, I'm guessing that's the trigger well. right there. This gap of light that's coming through. Probably the trigger well. So he takes the trigger well out, and then that's the shot right in that area. And to be honest, like, I mean, if he had a gun in his, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just seems so obvious. He was disarmed. And then there's the shot. I mean, that's quite a bit of a disarm. It's not like he was in the process of yanking on the pistol. The subject has got one hand behind his back, fumbling with the pistol. And then another officer kind of says, fuck this. It's not worth my life dealing with this bullshit. And shoots him. Which you may be able to justify, like, hey, he's reaching for his gun. You know, the whole fear for your life thing can be a kind of pretty big scapegoat. It can be true. And, I mean, it's also dependent on the person. Like, if you're not a well-trained, you know, if you're a housewife raising your kid, staying at home, watching fucking Disney movies and shit like that, you know, I can see how someone just breaking into your home could be like, I feared for my life. Like, I don't know this man. Like, so I got the shotgun and blasted him. Whereas you might be able to hold someone with training and experience to a higher standard in the sense of like, well, did you ask him if he was the mailman first? Or, you know, like, like, well, did you order food? Was it DoorDash? Start asking questions. Be like, were you really in fear for your life? And I think, again, I would hold law enforcement to the same standards. Although, I mean, we've seen enough, I think, footage in the past. And there's been enough information on the training. So this guy's reaching for his gun. He hasn't gotten the gun out yet. Here's the second yank. I mean, I think this guy's just he's just committed early. Like, they're fighting. He sees the gun. I mean, this guy's got his fucking hand on the gun. It's in control, and this guy just panicked. I mean, straight panic. Saw the gun. I could say, okay, unholster your gun. That's fine. And then I mean, I almost want to say this guy looks at him. Like, he sees the gun. He's like, oh, shit. Like, don't tell me you're going to do what I think you're going to do. There's almost like this look of like, what? I don't know. He kind of just, I mean, yeah, he's seen what's happening. He's tugging on the gun. Second tug, gun comes out. I think he looks up, sees this guy with a gun, and goes, oh, fuck. And immediately just turns around. I just don't like, again, it's just bad. It's just bad enforcement of law. Like, as a law enforcer or any, like, you need to not work here type of thing. Now, the second thing is, should you carry a gun to a protest or have one on you? To be honest, I'm like 50-50 on this. It's your fucking right. I mean, isn't there something about assembly? So, I mean, you have the freedom, what, in the shall make no law, respecting a step in religion, prohibiting free exercise for blah, or abridge the freedom of speech. Or abridging. I wonder what they mean. They use some old-timey words back there. Let's just get a clear definition here before, just in case I ever have to debate someone on this dumb shit. Shorten. So, no shortening of the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peacefully to assemble. Now it does say Congress shall. I mean, unfortunately, this kind of leaves it up, like, because can the president just be like, no more freedom of speech? And be like, oh, it goes to my constitutional rights. It's like, no, it says Congress. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I mean, you're allowed to protest, you're allowed to speak out, you're allowed to carry a gun. And I'm pretty sure January 6th, protesters with guns. Now, the dude that broke into the Capitol, what is this? Like, I've seen this before where it's like this guy literally is shooting a revolver in the air. Like, once you break onto like, you can't do things. How do I put this? You can do things that are legal with a gun, and even then, depending on what you're doing with your gun, it could be reasonable that you're using that gun in like a nefarious way. So if you went grocery shopping, and you're carrying a gun, not nefarious. You could even be open carrying an assault rifle. It would look weird. People might make fun of you. It's kind of cringe, but again, you're not. If it's just slung to you, I wouldn't say, you're using it in a nefarious way. Now, if you start to rob the grocery store, and even if your hands aren't on the gun, but it's still attached to you, you could start leaning towards that, like, well, I mean, what if you didn't give him the money? What do you think he's going to do next? Like, again, a gun does escalate the situation in the sense of, like, I mean, yeah, you could be Nazis with guns. Again, like, it's not, yeah, like the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing, patrolling his area with a gun. It's like, dude, we have to like come to this. We have to at least come to an agreement. Like, are we in favor of people carrying guns? Or are we just gonna sit here and be like, no, carrying guns for protest reasons is only good when my political side does it? Again, it's the whole principle standards and things like that, in the sense of like, have principles and stick to them. And there are times where you can change your principles. Obviously, if you get new information and it changes your outlook on life, it is what it is. But like, have those principles. If you're like, oh, trying to think of something crazy, like some white nationalist bullshit. Like, I think races are different, and there's like, there is a difference between races that make one better than the other. It's like, okay, that's a principle of yours. Now, just understand that other people could also think that in a way that you don't like. You can't really say shit. You can't really be like, oh, well, you're treating me different because you think I'm a lesser race. It's like, well, you also think other races are lesser. So, I mean, what goes around comes around, right? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, I mean, the whole shitting just seems, and then like you look into the background. I mean, I'm sure more information will be released, but it's like, what was, like, you could start to, like, if you lose it's a legitimate tactic in the sense it is a tactic, but it is also legitimate in the sense, like, you can, if you find enough background information about a person, you could inference what that person was about. Are they, how do I put this? Like, let's say that's the same thing. Everything's the same in this scenario. Then you go look through this dude's posts or private messages. And he's like, I'm going to purposely get myself shot. So that I'm a martyr or something like that. Might not change the actual like not outcome, but you can still say the killing was highly unprofessional and they should have done it, yada yada. But it kind of moves it towards a gray area in the sense of like, well, dude was there intentionally to have this scenario play out the way it did. So is it the fault of the officers that it did? Or does he take some blame for purposely having the intentions to have this happen? You can get into those weeds, but I don't think there's any evidence to show that. I mean, the guy was a fucking VA nurse. I mean, especially as veterans, dude. Like, one, veterans swore to the Constitution. Like, the Constitution always comes first, whether it works in your political favor or not. It's just very annoying. Again, it's just annoying not having principles anymore in my country. It feels like it's not about. It seems like, well, it's not true. People are just maybe not being honest about their principles. The principles aren't, well, I think this is right or I think this is wrong. The principles are, it doesn't matter as long as my side's in control and the opposing side is being harmed. If that's your principle, that's fine. All right. Like, I mean, I don't agree with it, but okay, that's your principle. But then when the other side says or does the same thing, I don't want to hear a moral argument about it. Just be like, okay, we're at war then. Like, that's just what it is. Like, we're at war. In the sense of one side is like, I don't care about anything as long as the other side suffers. It's like, okay. And if the other side is like, well, I don't care about anything as long as you guys suffer. Those two people are equal in my idea. Like, they're, okay, you guys have the same principles, just in opposite directions. How do you resolve this? And it's like, well, unfortunately, the only way to resolve it would probably be through removing one of the parties. All right. I do also, so where this is happening. Oh, God. Yeah, I will say that's the thing that bothers me the most is just people just not being principled. Just say what you mean. Like, if you're like the whole, this thing with the Arma thing, it's kind of the same. It's like, you don't actually care about team killing and toxic behavior and griefing and all this other shit. You just want you and your friends to have fun, and everyone else is just kind of along for the ride, and you just deal with it if you're not in the in-group. That's the principle. Just say that. Don't lie about it. Don't be like, oh, there's rules and the rules ought to be followed by everyone. It's like, nah, you obviously don't believe that. It's not your principle. Your principle is the rules are there to control the masses, and for the few select, we're allowed to break them because really the principle is we're here for our entertainment and you guys can get fucked. Like, okay. I can play that game for a little bit in the sense of until you truly don't give a fuck and it just becomes you doing things just out of your toxic nature to have fun at the expense of others. Then it's like, okay, I'll probably just leave the server. But until then, it's like, okay, I get what's going on here. The in crowd gets to do whatever the fuck they want. That's the principle. The team killing isn't the principle. Anti-toxicity isn't the principle. Anti-racism isn't the principle. Anti-homophobia isn't the principle. The principle is you made these rules to attract players and make them feel safe. But the real principle is everyone's just cannon fodder for your enjoyment. It's like, okay, that's the principle. Just be principled. Just say that. The problem is people lie and then you have to argue about are they lying or not, and then you have to show evidence, and it gets real messy because it's like, well, it's actually not my principle. It's actually, it's just that insert, again, I didn't kill him, I manslaughtered him. It's like, okay, dude, like I didn't know we were going to fucking law school. Like, there's wrong and right, and there's degrees of it, and I get there's first degree, second degree, and third degree murder, and then you have like manslaughter, and things go down the list of assault with deadly weapon and blah blah blah. But for the normal people in the world that don't want to have arbitration over fucking video games. It'd just be easy to be like, don't be a toxic piece of shit. And then just hold it as murder one. There's murder one and nothing else. You either killed this dude for whatever reason, or you didn't. Instead of trying to sit here and like play the gradient thing. Because again, it can get real muddy real quick, or versus like, okay, I have to try to convince you. It's not even convincing the other person. I have to convince a crowd that you're lying. And then once we realize you're lying, then we have to figure out to what extent. And then blah, 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 blah. It's just like, okay. Just, again, why not just be, I mean, and I get it too. It's just like, I get why you don't want to be honest, because if you were honest, everyone would know what a piece of shit you are, in the sense of the rules aren't rules. They're just suggestions for me, and they're requirements for you because it makes me feel good. It's like, oh, okay. So that doesn't sound good. It's like, well, yeah, no shit. So yeah, I mean, just looking at this footage, I mean, it seems like to the lead up, he really wasn't doing anything, and he just got absolutely punished for something. There's another video I'm looking for. Yeah, I mean, this guy just didn't deserve. I mean, again, this guy in the gray, like, yeah, all these people, like these people down here probably didn't know what the fuck was going on. This guy probably saw him reaching for the. He probably assumed, like, because it kind of looks like he looks up. I mean, this all happens very fast. Like, if I were this guy in the black shirt and I looked up, I'd be like, okay, my dude is going to grab his gun to make sure it's ready, just in case this goes south. But as soon as this guy in the gray shirt tugs that gun out of there, this guy should have just put his pistol back in his holster. But he was already, like, he's just too committed to an action way too early. Also, why are you wearing skinny jeans in the winter? Dude, like, what the fuck? Again, someone's been watching too much Call of Duty or something. All in all, not good. There should be probably a charge and or arrest. Definitely someone should be fired. And here's the other problem is, like, there should be accountability, but who gets held accountable for something like this? Do you blame the shooter directly, in the sense of, like, well, he's the one that jumped the gun and overcommitted to an action that didn't need to be committed to? Or do you blame the organization that trained him and the leadership there? You know, like, all of them. I mean, I would be down for all of them too. I mean, I'm not against just be like, all right, like, the dude that shot, you're fired, obviously. You're open to civil suit, so kiss every penny you'll ever make for the rest of your life goodbye, and you're probably going to be imprisoned. And then for the trainers and, like, the system and the leaders of the system, I would just be like, all right, you guys are fired too, right? Like, you had to have known that this wasn't going to work out well, giving people, 50 days of training. It's like, all right. As for this weather system, what the fuck? I'm feeling it down where I'm at, and I'm pretty down south. What is this shit? Let's see here. Yeah, that's the problem. There's just no principles, or they're just not honest about their principles, which, again, I'm still right-leaning, but I'm not MAGA, because I don't think MAGA has principles outside own the libs. I think own the libs is the principles, and then nothing else matters. It's like, well, own the libs, but what about freedom of speech? Own the libs. What about, right to bear arms? Own the libs. What about, overreach of federal government? Own the libs. What about authoritism? Own the libs. What about politicians lying and, misconstruing information? Own the libs. It's like, oh, okay, so as long as it owns the libs, you're cool with it. Yes. Okay, that's your principle. Then just say that's your principle. You don't care about anything else but owning the libs. And then we can all just move on with our lives. So these are lows. This is high. High, low. Pressure's always like kind of, well, I guess you can see a spiraling into the low. And then there's a little bit of a spiral on the high, but I wonder if these are kind of just like, this is high. I feel like these are the same. They are. What is this? How much is this? 4 degrees right there. Interesting. I mean, it could be an elevation thing. Low, high. High, high. And low. Super low. Where's all this cold weather coming from? That's what I want to know. Is there radiation somewhere? Air quality. Bro, it just seems way cold. What is it an elevation thing, I wonder? Because you have warmer air here. It kind of reminds me of like Death Valley. It's crazy, dude. Like this line on the mountains, on one side of the mountain, nice warm. On the other side of the mountains, cold. Like here's Mammoth Lakes. All this is mountains. Like you can see rivers coming down these mountains. This is all, dude, like this mountain range is insane. Yeah, this whole shooting thing is just a fucking mess. I don't know what happened to my political party in the sense of, I remember when my political party back in the day was like no government overreach. It was full of libertarians and evangelical Christians who were against gay marriage, and not saying I am, but they were against gay marriage and anything anti-God or, anything that was a sin. And then I just don't understand how a billionaire from New York became the representative. Well, a billionaire from New York who has cheated on every wife he's ever had, and then pretty much mail ordered a bride from another country, is the leading party of a party that hates immigrants, used to hate people that were sinners, and hated government overreach. I just don't understand, like, what happened. Like, well, I mean, I get it. It's own the libs. It doesn't. There are no principles anymore. It's just about owning the libs. It's just fucking annoying. All right, the other thing I wanted to talk about. The stream is already I'm already just depressed thinking about it. It's just depressing in the sense of like, yeah, I just wish people were more honest. Let me see if I can find the Google Doc. Dude, and then the line, yeah, again, there's It's not that there are no principles. The principles just aren't lining up with what we think the reality of the situation. Like when whatever gnome, whatever her dumb fucking face is, the overly cut up, surgically tampered with face, whatever Christy Gnome or whatever her name is, when she just obviously lies about shit and everyone else does. Again, it's not against their principles, and that's what I have to remind myself. The principles aren't lying is bad. The principles aren't being truthful is good. The principles are it doesn't matter as long as we own the libs. Which, dude, like, just at what cost? Well, I guess freedom and democracy, I guess, would be the cost. We'll just give up everything that made our country great so we can own half the country. It's like, God damn it. It's just sad. Especially at these prices. Yeah, this is...
My favorite. I don't know if you know this, but you guys have $858 million, again, almost $1 billion, okay, of money to give out bonuses to people. And so listen, bonuses are great when people do good work, but $858 million sounds like a lot of money. That's like a $40,000 bonus to every employee in all of ICE.
You raise a profoundly serious point in your inimitable way, Mr. Moscow. Well, the bonuses, that is a huge bonus budget. Yeah. What does that work out? Have you done the math to see what that works out in terms of bonus per ICE employee?
$42,000 for every employee in a bonus, in addition to their salary.
$42,000.
Bro, if you're getting paid $42,000 in bonus on top of your salary, again, dude, like I'm all for paying law enforcement more money, but with that should come higher standards. Like we pay the best in America to do the best work. So if you're gonna get paid $150,000 a year, or let's say as an ICE, like what's the average? I mean, yeah, you're making, let's say, I'll just go to the low end, 62. We'll say 60,000 a year, and then you get a $40,000 bonus. That's $100,000. Like, dude, at $100,000 a year, like, you're getting up into the level of engineering. You know, like, yeah, 100. I mean, we expect our engineers to like know what the fuck they're doing. They have to go through four years for a bachelor. That's standard entry. This is going to exceed 5 years with internships, co-ops, or 1 to 2 extra years for masters. While PhD adds 3 to 6 years to the bachelor's, making the total path from 4 years to 8 to 10 years. So, like, still 4 years of education to make $100,000 a year. Dude, I mean, you're making the same amount of money with just such less of a commitment. Oh my God. Or at least a time commitment in training. Oh, it's just, the priorities are just so fucked. They're so fucked. I want to watch this video. I'm gonna steal my own content for a second. I just need to make sure this video is. That thumbnail cracks me up. Well, the toxic griefer and armor reforger, Spearhead Ultra Hardcore NA2 server was right. He had the clout. I didn't know. Now, for those who don't know, Spearhead Ultra Hardcore servers for Armor Reforger are the best servers for a more authentic public milsim experience. Unfortunately, it suffers from the same things most. I just want to read some of these. The abstract consumers who socialize in online consumption communities sometimes become alarmingly hostile, toxic, and otherwise verbally violent towards one another. Online. I mean, it's not quite gaming. Communities do. Not enforcing policy when it's our common online consumption. However, it is not examined why such behavior sometimes becomes endemic, turning entire communities into toxic social spaces. To address this question, the authors studied 18 years of interactions in online electronic dance music community. Convenient or inconvenient. I've been gaming for a while. You see this all the time in clans and communities, like OnlyFans.
It's like if you have a person that's causing a bunch of trouble, at a certain point you have to ask yourself, is it worth it to address the trouble? Or...
To be honest, the biggest reason I put this in here is because I 100% get the idea or the argument, like, dude, why even waste your time arguing? Like, I get it, but at the same time, it depends on what you spend your time in. You know, if you're a lawyer and you spend a lot of your time doing law shit, it's like, well, when fucked up things happen in court or a judge does something that is fucked, yeah, there's much more implication, but you're probably going to take it serious because you're a lawyer and it's your case, whereas a layman might not even know that it's transpired.
Right? And
not saying that they both are affecting society on the same level. I'm just saying, like, depending on what your life's bubble encapsulates, like, some things are going to affect you more than others. Like, I'm sure there's some people out there who don't give a fuck about what's going on in America because they're insulated, and other people do care because they're not.
so, like, as a leader, it's very hard to make that decision.
If you're not in the know, OnlyFans is a guild of World of Warcraft players that are mostly content creators as well, which drew, well, the toxic griefer and armor pirate software. So you got S-Van, he's pretty popular. I don't know, Touchpad Warrior, not memes. Soda Poppin's pretty popular. Quinn69 is pretty popular. I don't know about this one. It's unbearable.
I think sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things is misconstrued as arrogance or boasting. But in reality, I'm just trying to give context.
So that is the problem right there. So I want you to listen to this phrase.
This clip kills me. So Dr. K is a legit, like a Harvard PhD psychologist that started doing pro bono work. I mean, he gets paid through content, but like for the most part, he's not charging clients hourly for his services. And I'm pretty sure he has a whole entire community for helping gamers.
This gets misconstrued
Because gamers turn toxic real quick. Gamers just get weird. I mean, again, it's if you are a gamer and you have time, chances are you're either young and you don't have to worry about money because mommy and daddy have money. And you have a lot of time because school doesn't take up a lot of time. You're probably not doing your homework and shit like that. And then once you hit adulthood, being a gamer becomes increasingly harder in the sense of, like, you either got to find a career that gives you a lot of time, better get hit by a bus or win a lawsuit. You have to have enough money to support yourself while also gaming, right? You have to pay bills and shit like that. So I think his community is more focused on people that, like, maybe in an unhealthy way. And I could probably be lumped into that, where it's like you're not taking care of yourself because gaming has turned into almost like an addiction, in the sense of, like, you're failing at other parts of life so that way you have more time to do this thing, which isn't good. Which, again, that's like one of those things where it's like the reality of the situation, and I hit this wall all the time, in the sense of the reality of the situation sometimes just fucking sucks. That's not pleasing, in the sense of, like, well, the reality of the situation is society doesn't want you to do what you want to do depending on what you want to do. You just have to deal with it or figure out a loophole or something.
is arrogance, but in reality, it's this. That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. I don't see it that way, but all right.
And Pirate Software got one of his teammates killed in WoW hardcore mode and then acted super toxic about it when called out for it. Hold on. I need Mio. I need caffeine. Yeah, the more I think about that, I mean, again, it depends on like what's your standard of living. If you want to live in a mansion, have bitches, party all the time, like you're gonna have to sacrifice other things. Can't do a million things at once. The human is only capable of doing so much. So it's like you can't be a race car driver. You can't, be a PhD. You can't be on the bleeding edge of science and be an NFL player. Like, unfortunately, being an NFL player requires too much training and practice and maintaining your body and everything else. There's not enough time to do other things. For the most part.
Like
Can I speak?
Nah, I'm good.
You
See ya.
So if you're a hardcore gamer, it's like, well, what have you given up to be a hardcore gamer? It's like, well, depending on that answer, you could be going down a pretty toxic path in the sense of like, well, you've given up. Trying to think. You've given up driving. You don't own a car because you can't afford one. So now you don't leave the house, or you have to rely on others to provide sustenance to you because, things like that. Like, yeah, you're fucked. Like, you fucked your life up so you can have more time to game and shit like that.
I'm not doing that shit again with him. Nah, he did it the first time. I'm not doing it a second one.
Which draws a lot of attention when things go wrong. Now, Spearhead is different from OnlyFans in the sense that it's super niche. It's a very small community that's participating in a game with a very small player base. But like many other communities, it's full of toxicity. I mean, it's just bad. A big warning on... Oh, yeah, that's right. We have some... You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to edit this real quick. Just 0000 start. All right. We'll do intro. We'll say it's full of toxicity. Let's do it like this, actually. Now, give me... I will say Windows. Windows sometimes is just poo-poo caca. Theater mode. All right, so this thing pretty much starts at 137. 0137. N-word warning. We'll say 150. And end of N-word spamming. Do another one right here. Say 0228. Start of F word. Eight. Zero 0247. End of F word spamming. See what that looks like here. And words. Now we'll just keep it as is. There's any clues that might suggest there be some autism going on. Now the admin is 0312. Admin chat in game. When does and the little shitlord, the brat kicks in at blah, blah, 0620. Toxic player. Who was not but toxic player. Chimes in. What are we at here? 0725, 0725. Pretty. Are we done going over chat? Yes. Done with in-game chat. All right. What? Well, the toxic grief. The fuck. Okay, there's. All right, the chapters are up. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to give more people the ability to skip over it. I mean, there's plenty of. Yeah. What we are going to do, get this disgusting video off my monitor. I was going to pick up. Oh, la, 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 la. Dude, I still need to work on. What sucks is I don't think anyone gives a fuck about ordnance. Dude, so much work in this script. I don't think anyone gives a shit. I just did this for me. Bro, this paper was super interesting. Fragmentation, EFP. The more convex it is, the more of a bolt you get, and then you get the jet. The science they did, dude, the science that has gone into just fucking people up is insane. So this one is supposedly a jet up here, and you can tell like this is like it's just more of a convex. Dude, the amount of data. Like the differences in penetration right here. Quite a big difference though. I mean, the jet definitely it's thinner, but it's longer. Like it gets through more. This almost looks like layered. Like what does they call it? Laminate? Like where they, because the gaps in these layers, like it fucks with penetration. Like if you just have a solid block of steel, you'll penetrate that more easily than a sheet of steel, a gap, a sheet of steel, and a gap. My theory was penetration, standoff distance. So like right here, yeah, this is like this makes me think that an EFP would be better. Like it never quite reaches the max penetrating level of the jet from high explosive anti-tanks. It never quite gets there, but you still, I mean, you get pretty good penetration at much further standoffs. And then it kind of evens out. CD, I don't know. Penetration depth, exit hole diameter for both copper jet and at different standoff distances. So these are probably the distance, standoff distance, SOD, dish-shaped EFP, jet, EFP, jet. So at a close standoff distance, you can see jet wins. A little bit further away, jet's even doing better. And then all of a sudden, we get way better penetration. But I mean, again, this maxes out at 50. This maxes out at 40. So pretty much what that means, like, so, with anti-drone protection. So what, like, these tanks are doing nowadays, like, this is like the extreme, like, what they've done is they've taken wire and splayed it out. So what you're doing is you're making the standoff distance for the jet. You're pretty much causing the jet to have too long of a standoff distance, which is then causing it to not penetrate. Whereas an EFP, I feel like, could penetrate this much easier. I will say, I'd like, dude, why not protect your side armor a little bit more? I know you have grates here. I mean, that's also what these grates are for, is to increase that standoff distance for your jet. But still understand, like, here's another one. Again, the whole point of this is to increase standoff distance, like this shed, these chains. So that way, if they use something like an RPG warhead, the RPG warhead doesn't have a close standoff distance, it has a far standoff distance, and therefore it won't penetrate nearly as well. But I think EFPs are the way to go if you want to defeat tanks with this type of armor. I mean, this isn't even a tank anymore, dude. Like, there's no point of this barrel. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, what they need to do is make, like, tanks, take off the turret, expand the inside so you could fit more people, then build the shed around it, and then you just have an armored personnel carrier that can't really do much fighting, but it can carry personnel, you know? I mean, it's pretty much where we're at. Well, unless you're Russia, then you're using horseback, but... These are the trophy systems. This pretty much knocks missiles out of the sky. I should make a video. I'm so tired. Just a quick... I should. There's enough pictures and everything. Like, the problem with this system is it's limited in the sense of, like, you could probably, the system gets depleted. So if you, let's say, maybe 4 drones, this type of system could counter 4 drones, let's say. But once it runs out of, you know, like, whatever ammunition it uses to knock out drones, then you're just fucked. Whereas this is cheaper, more economical, and it's probably a little bit more resilient until there's such big holes in this that you can start slipping ordnance through. Like, this thing is, like, this has to be so much more heavy. When did this come out? August 2025. Dude, these whole, like... known as Tower 1. Tower 1 Kit 4. Oh, there's videos of this? To be honest, I mean, this is probably reactive armor. This is all reactive armor on the side panels. I just don't see the point. In the sense of, like, yeah, it protects the turret, but dude, they make it through this reactive armor on the side, you're just fucked. Or the rear, because this is where all the people are. It's parallel with this area. There's like 1 or 2 dudes up here. You got your driver here, your commander somewhere in here, your gunner somewhere in there, and then all your troops are in here. Like, there's got to be a different... There's gotta be a better method. Dude, I'm playing War now for a little bit. Dude, I am so tired. How big of an update is this? Is this update gonna shut down my stream, or what? I was gonna play, actually. No. I'm just sleepy. Watching innocent Americans get shot is just... Bro, it's like, I can watch combat footage, a lot of combat footage, and it doesn't really affect me all that much depending on what's happening. But man, there's just something about Law and Order just going out the fucking window. Like, you expect Law and Order to kind of go out the window in warfare, in the sense of, like, I don't think there's much murdering going on in warfare. There's a lot of killing, not a lot of murdering. There's a difference. Like, murder by definition is like a wrongful act, whereas killing, depending on the situation, could be a wrongful act, could be a righteous one. You know, if you kill someone doing something horrific to someone else, usually we're like, yep, that was a righteous killing. Whereas if you kill someone because they looked at your burrito wrong or whatever, then yeah, and no bueno. Temperature. I wonder what this is. 18, 19. I mean, obviously. But is this over time? Like, what's this bottom row supposed to be? That's how graphs work. You can't just give me one side of the graph and then, like, am I just supposed to fill in the blanks for the bottom? This is velocity. This is a jet. The very, like, yeah, this is almost stationary in the sense of, like, it's getting folded. Like, this thing, this part of the jet started back here and got inverted and starts to protrude. This is a little bit, I guess you could say, slower in the sense of still somewhat the same idea. It's just you don't want, well, for speed, like, you can keep the speed the same, but you don't want this molten. The whole idea behind, like, the EFP is to fire a slug into something, not. Oh yeah? It's pretty sick ass research. I mean, this shit right here, though, oh my god. All right. So I get this. This is cubed. So this is a volume. So this is grams per volume of space. The JWLEOS equation A equals 8.1658 times 10 to the 8th. kPa, I want to say that's pressure. B equals pressure. R equals, or no, this symbol equals that. R equals that. So there's pressure. I wonder if these are velocities. Detonation velocity and pressure equal to 783. So you times this by this number, respectively, the CJ energy per unit. Melt room. Oh, here's your calculation right here. I just don't know what these symbols mean. Like, I feel like there's, like, gatekeeping sometimes. Like, you can't just write a word there. You can't just write velocity. You have to write in a completely different language, so dumb people like me just can't keep up. Yeah, assholes. Parameters. Time in, I believe these are microseconds. Comp B. Momentum. It's just interesting that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know how I got so tired all of a sudden. Yeah, I need to make an EFP versus jet video. And then it would be wild if I made an in-depth video and all of a sudden you just start seeing flying EFPs everywhere. They're not running jets anymore. And by jets, I mean high explosive anti-tank. We're playing more now. Is this dude still alive?
Red states. It was crazy. Red
Well, he
states
withdrew
did
from
more
he withdrew
intelligence.
from Iraq. Biden later withdrew from Afghanistan. I mean,
Damn, a VA nurse too, dude. Like, it just sucks. Like, are really like the best Americans we have. Like, good Americans good people in general are like people that are not self-serving, who are, I don't know what the opposite of self-serving is, where it's like you're a giver. You want to give to a community. You want to give back. And it just like, and you're not like a taker. You don't want to just take. You want to give. One thing that we all have that is finite is time. All right, and time through capitalism gets equated, depending on your career, into money. So your life pretty much gets translated into money. You know, it's like that saying, like, time is money. Well, I mean, time is money. That's true. Well, time is other things too. I mean, time, depending on how you're living your life, it could be enjoyment. You know, like if you're enjoying life, you don't want to give up that time. Fuck it, we're just gonna run the 80-second all air, baby. Even though the 80-second is not known for having an air force, but you know.
Broke boy. Ah ha ha ha.
Thank you, Poker.
It is what it is.
Extract his account receiving now.
I can't believe so many people have watched the engagement with my prior video. So much more. Although nothing has happened in the last 60 minutes. What does my other analytics say? Oh, we're not streaming on the right monitor. This is my bad. Probably why there's viewers left. They're like, dude, we can't see what you're talking about. All right, that's my bad. I'm gonna restart my stream, and that way the title's saved. I don't want to throw a War No game into talking about a man that just got shot in cold blood. Not really. Not a good look. Not respectful. So we'll be back.